Good morning, Year 2. For today's English, we are learning to write questions and exclamations. Now, we've done this a couple of times in the autumn term before Christmas. You've got really good at writing questions. We do need a little bit more practice at writing exclamations in particular. So let's have a look what we're doing today. So for today's work, you hopefully by the end of the lesson will understand what questions and exclamations are. You will make sure that you start all your sentences with capital letters. We know how important that is. And you will end them with a punctuation mark. It might be a full stop for some, a question mark for others, and an exclamation mark for some as well. So this PowerPoint is saved on the website. I'm just going to take you through it quickly now. We go from the beginning. Types of sentence. Click down there. So we're going to learn about the 4 different types of sentence. Type number 1 are statements, and statements are sentences which tell you something and they end with a full stop. Here are some examples. A rainbow has 7 colours, full stop. They are beautiful to look at, full stop. The second type of sentence that we have are questions. Questions are sentences that ask you something, and they usually end with a question mark. What did you have for dinner? Question mark. Do you remember these question starter words that we talked about last term? What, who, how, why, where, when, did. There are lots of different ones. They show that it's a question. Sentence type number 3 is commands, and commands are those ones that you enjoyed saying so much in class when we were being bossy to our robots. They are often urgent or angry. They can be very short and contain an imperative verb. Imperative verbs are also known as bossy verbs. They go at the beginning of the sentence and they tell people what to do. Stop that right now. Help me. And finally, we have exclamations, which I think are the trickiest ones. An exclamation is used when someone is surprised. Now this is what makes it tricky. It always starts with how or what. How amazing! What big feet you have. Now the tricky part is that how and what can also be used to start questions. So you have to think, if you see a sentence that starts with how or a sentence that starts with what, is it a question? Is it asking you something? Or is it an exclamation telling you something because someone is surprised or excited? So let's go back to our flip charts. And I've got this lovely wintry picture. Now normally if we were in class, I would be asking you to get your whiteboards out now and write some sentences to go with this picture. But I can't do that quite the same today. So I'm going to write you a sentence as an example, but you might want to pause the video now and go and find a whiteboard and pen if you have one at home, or a piece of paper and a pencil, or if you don't have anything, you could just say the sentences out loud for today. So I'll give you a minute to pause the video and go and find what you need. Okay, so the first sentence, thing we're going to do is write a statement about the picture. Now do you remember a statement is telling facts? So let's have a look at this picture. What facts could I say about the picture? It's got blue sky, there's some snow. I know this story, so I know that's Jack Frost coming along and making all the icicles all over the house. There's a boy and a dog. I like dogs, so I'm going to write about the dog. What's he doing? Because that would be a good fact. He's running. So I could just write the dog was running. That's a bit boring. I can do a better sentence than that. I'm going to put a noun phrase in. The little white dog was running. So I need to start with a capital letter. The little white dog is running, was running, was running. Full stop. Did you notice I was using think it, say it, write it, read it to make sure my sentence makes sense? So I thought of the sentence in my head, I said it out loud, I wrote it down, now I need to read it. The little white dog was running. I'm happy with that sentence. You can pause the video now and write your own statement about the picture. Okay, let's go on to the next one. We're going to write a question about the picture this time. So we need to ask something. So the best thing to do is look at the picture and think, I wonder, what do you wonder about it? Wonder who lives in that house. That would be a good question, wouldn't it? So let's make that into a question. Who, that's a good question where to start with. Who lives in the house? Or I could put a noun phrase in. Who lives in the small frosty house? Who lives in the small frosty house? And it's a question, so I need a question mark at the end. Let's read my sentence back and check it. Who lives in small frosty house? That doesn't make sense. What have I done? Oh dear, I've missed a word out. Who lives in the small frosty house? That's why it's really important to read your sentence back to check it makes sense. Now, if you pause the video, you can have a go writing your own question. And finally, let's go on to writing an exclamation about the picture. So remember, an exclamation has to start with how or what. But watch out that you don't end up writing a question. We're not asking anything. We're saying what we feel excited or surprised about. So have a look at the picture and think, what makes you feel excited or surprised? I think it looks really beautiful with all the snow. So I'm going to do a sentence about that. I think I'll start with what. So what a beautiful day. What a beautiful day it is. I think that would be my sentence. What a beautiful day it is. What a beautiful day it is. Okay, finally, can you pause the video and have a go at writing your own exclamation? And that takes us on to our work for today. Don't forget at the end to go back and look at your success criteria on your sheet and think, have you done all those things in your work? Let's have a look at the different sheets. So, the main sheet today, we're using the same picture, and I've written some sentences for you, but I've forgotten to put in any punctuation or capital letters. So can you rewrite the sentences, not in your book, but on a piece of paper, or you could do it on the sheet if you need to, with capital letters and punctuation marks in the right place. And you can email those in to us. If you would like a challenge today, and I hope everyone in Blue Group is going to go for the challenge, you can have a go at the challenge sheet, which is similar. It's the same picture, and I still want you to rewrite the sentences with capital letters and punctuation marks. But this time they're not split up on different lines. They're all joined together in a paragraph. And that makes it a little bit trickier to see where one sentence finishes and the next one starts. So you're going to need to read those sentences carefully. If you're in Red Group, then you should be having a go at the easy sheet. And you can watch the video that I made reading this story. I have it here, Say Hello to the Snowy Animals. So find that video and watch that again if you need to. And you've got some sentences too, and you've got the same job to do for your sentences. I forgot to put the capital letters and full stops on them. So can you rewrite them with the capital letters and full stops in the right place? And I will see you tomorrow.